Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I had such great luck with Tsunoda pliers that I went ahead and actually purchased a couple other items. One of which is these wire rope cutters, as they call them, from Tsunoda. And these are, if you're new to Tsunodas, these are tools that are made specifically in Japan for the Japanese tool market, but now they're actually selling them more so across, well, the world and the United States. And so I wanted to take a look at these cable cutters because I have a couple projects that I've been needing a good set of cable cutters for, and we're going to take a look at specifically, it's right here, we'll bring it up close to you guys. It's going to be it's going to be the 150 millimeter, and I believe their part number, if they put it on here, I think they're just going to call it the 155, I believe is what it's on Amazon Marketplace, or sorry, 150 millimeter WC-150 is that part number. And then for the larger ones, they are the 225 millimeter or the WC-225s. And obviously, the 225 refers to the overall length from tip to end of handle, and then the 150 is much smaller. And so there's a little bit change in design between these two, and there's a couple other sizes in between, but this is more so on the larger end, and this is more so on the smaller end. And again, I purchased these on Amazon, and pricing between the two, this one I think I picked up about, I'm going to say between $15 and $20. The pricing does fluctuate because the Japanese pricing with the yen is fluctuating currently, so pricing will fluctuate between the two. And I want to say this one was above $25, $27, maybe close to $30 for this set here. Now the biggest difference is going to be in the size of material that they can cut. So we're talking about 4 and 3 millimeter, depending on if it's cable or if it's a solid, this is stranded cable, or if it's a solid core. And then the size of this one's going to be a little bit bigger at 6 millimeter and 5 millimeter. Now when you look at the back, it talks about some features of these. Again, the cutting capacity, this actually shows you, so iron is 6 millimeter, stainless is up to 5 millimeter. It actually shows the smaller ones in here too. You can see the difference, right, between how wide the jaw's open. And then here's actually a nice feature that we get to see on the back. Again, made in Japan. Here's their offices. But you can actually see they make these pliers out of Kobe steel. And so the handle and the body are 42 to 50 HRC. And then the cutting blade here is treated to 58 to 64 HRC, which is much higher on the scale. So that is a good hardness for a set of cutting pliers. And then again, there's the overall length. The weight is 390 grams for the larger ones, and the weight for the smaller ones is 215 grams. Again, the smaller ones have the same HRC rating for both the handle and for the jaws. And they have something a little bit different as far as operation for locking them open and closed. And we'll take a look at the jaws here in just a second, but let's take a look at the operation. One feature I like about this one is as you squeeze, watch this lever right here, automatic releases. It allows you to use them normally. And then to lock them, you can't lock them fully squeezed. You gotta just ever so lightly release, and then it locks in place. And again, squeeze, unlocks. So actually a really nice locking feature. Although if you're worried about them in your pocket popping loose, that could actually happen fairly easy. The larger ones, and so the spring is actually mounted down here inside the handle. And actually just talk about releasing. You can actually remove this too if you need to service it or replace it. So relatively easy, but it does stay in place quite nice. And then this one has a lock down at the bottom. This is more conventional, more common that we see. And then it has the spring in the center. It allows you to compress, and it keeps itself fully open. Now this one does open quite large for your hand. So if you were trying to get really good grab on some larger objects, some larger rope, that does get quite wide open. Now it's worth noting that Tsunoda likes to vinyl dip their handles for a majority of their pliers, and they like to choose yellow. I think yellow is a nice color for these. Kind of gives a construction feel. And I wanted to take a look here. So here's your reading on the top. Obviously Tsunoda, and 24C, that refers to the year and the time of year manufacturer, so 2024. Here's the part number WC-225, and made in Japan. This is laser etched, which is quite nice. And then the finish, Tsunoda does an excellent job. It's actually a machined finish, but it is relatively smooth. Really hard to fill those grooves from the machine work. It is really well done. And then the forging is actually quite clean too. Handles straight. Forging all the way across, nice and clean. And they even do a little touch up here on the tip. See, Tsunoda actually prides himself on some finished handwork by their technicians, so it looks really good. And then the jaw, you can see here, has an angle to it. And it is quite sharp to the touch down here. And it is closed. It is tighter at the beak, if you like to call it that, than it is in the throat. Throat's a little bit wider, but that's just so you don't squeeze in too large a material. And this side is sharp as well, so nice and sharp. And then it does have an adjustable bolt here for both sides, so as this wears, you could tighten it up. And it is also worth noting too, there is a guide arm in here. Let's see if we can get you guys to see it. You barely see it back inside there, but it runs inside the body here, so as you close, it keeps on track and it minimizes any tweaking that might happen in the handle. So really good built set for this larger WC-225. And stick around, we're going to do some testing here too, so don't go anywhere. The smaller one, a little bit different in style, right? Has a different spring, has a different locking mechanism, and they do that nice finish milling right to the head. And then this one's a 23G, so made in 2023, made in Japan, wire cable, and the King TTC, that they call this their King line. And this one looks like it's stamped in, riveted. Wire cable on the back side. And this one has a built-in stop too, so as you come close, you're not going to pinch your hand inside here. So a good mechanism. It also too has a similar bolt, right, that allows you to tighten up the head as necessary. And again, it does have a tighter beak as opposed to the throat inside there. This one does also have a taper, and it has a sharp edge to both sides. So let's check them out. Let's see how they compare, right, cutting. Obviously, smaller items are cut with this, larger items cut with this, but let's see how far we could go with this. So let's start off, something pretty simple. Got this paracord here. Let's see if it could cut something as soft as this. Oh yeah, nice clean cut to that. That wasn't hard. All right, let's jump it up a step. Let's go ahead and do some stainless. Actually, let's do some larger gauge copper stranded wire. See if we can fit that in there. Oh yeah, got it in there. Give us a little clip. All right, let's see how that turned out. How clean was that cut? Yeah, it's pretty clean. I did have a slight angle, so you're kind of seeing that angle as I cut it that way. But nice, clean through cut. All right, let's do some stranded stainless. Oh yeah, that's really clean. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Hang tight. Nice, clean cut. Okay, now let's bump up to... Got some small chain here. For whatever reason, maybe you want to cut up some chain. This would be stainless. Cut just fine. Good, easy, clean cut. So let's see the jaw. Still nice and sharp. Yeah, that is a good cutter. Let's see if we can get it on this larger wire. So this is going to be vinyl coated wire, and it's 1/8 of an inch. I might be pushing it with these, but let's see if we can fit it in there. Oh yeah, it fits in there. Give it a little snip. again, nice clean cut. So no complaints there. And again, we'll take a look at the jaw. We'll zoom in this time so you get a really good view at the jaw. All right, some minor scratching, but the jaw is still nice and sharp. No scratching on that side whatsoever. Okay, so good run over there. And then let's try one more round. This is actually stainless steel brake line right here. I wanted to try that out with the larger one. So let's back out just a little bit. Do a quick run through these other ones. All right, copper wire. And no, you do have to go quite big with your hand on this one. That one does even a better job. The clean cut. So really good there. Let's go ahead and do this stranded. Stranded came out beautiful as well. Let's do this stainless steel chain. It does make you open up quite a bit wider with these ones. So it does make it just a little bit more of a stressful grab. But you have to do a little bit more work with your hand. That one went flying. But great job cutting. Okay. Let's do the 1/8 inch cable. Again, nice and clean. Take a look at the jaws. Just a little scratch to them. Still holding their edge though. So that is nice. And let's try the last one. This is going to be braided stainless steel brake lines. So it might be a little bit of a pain to get in there. Might be a stretch. Maximizing what they can or can't do. Okay, they're in. Let's give them a run. Because stainless steel line could be a little tricky to cut, but cut nice and clean. Yeah, excellent. Clean cut. Yeah, so here you go, guys. I mean, you have your options size-wise of what you want. Pricing is actually quite nice, depending if you jump on them as they have a good sale. And yeah, really good cutting pliers. If you have the need for cutting wire, cables, smaller pieces of steel, these will actually do the job and have a quite good hardness to them. So love to hear your guys' thoughts. Would you recommend anything similar to this? Have you guys tried these before yourselves? What are your guys' thoughts? I'd love to hear them. And guys, again, if you like these videos, please give a thumbs up and please subscribe. That helps YouTube actually push these videos out to people. Otherwise, it kind of sits dormant. So anyways, guys, I appreciate your time. We'll talk to you soon.